Good girl. Okay, I'm at my parents' house because I've come to visit my mum. And this is the wrap. It is enormous. I've got like 90 something more upper backs to go. This is where we started. So, very much looking like a triangle. There's so much knitting in this, it's insane. Crazy town. Well, 2 words I shouldn't use, but yeah, wow. I'm on my 3rd ball now. You sit on the bench. I'll say hello to our friends. Hello. Hi, welcome to the Mad About You YouTube channel. My name's Madeleine. Welcome to my corner of the internet. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which I come to from, the Kabi Kabi people of the Sunshine Coast region, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Happy March in review. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're a new viewer, welcome. So a little bit about how my podcast works. I usually start with any finished objects, of which today we have 0, shock horror to nobody. Then works in progress. I talk a little bit about my circular sock machine business sometimes. I'm hosting the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Pearl Soho as a knit along. So we'll talk about that, and then life update, blather, knit and natter. I can't remember what I've called it this year. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and yeah, let's get on with it. I have 2 kittens who are fighting underneath my sock machine at the moment, so we might be kicking those out shortly. They're not usually allowed in here, only with me. Hey, puss. Finn. Alright, they're gone. So yeah, no finished objects this month. It is Sunday, the 2nd of April 2023. My name is Madeleine. I use she and her pronouns also, which is something I usually would start off with as well. So, yeah, like I said today, I have no finished objects. I think I've barely done any work on this because I've done a lot of work on my other monogamacy project. So, I have done 2 rows since I spoke to you about 3 weeks ago. I think I filmed in March. This is Muscle Bag Hat by Isolde Teague. I'm probably like halfway, which is disappointing. Whoops, I just lost a stitch marker. Yeah, but it's my have in the car and take places because my other project is not very portable right now. I'm also recording today without a microphone because the last couple of episodes I've noticed has been a little bit feedbacky, so hopefully that will not be a problem. Okay, my major work in progress is also part of the half and half wrap knit along. So let's just talk about this as the work in progress and I'll talk about the cowl in a minute. I am onto my 3rd skein, or final skein of this rhubarb pink colour. The project is called the Half and Half Triangles Wrap by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern on their website. It is made to be knit in this linen quill, but you can knit it in anything that's like 4-ply or a light fingering sort of a weight yarn. I cast on 250 stitches. The pattern says like big is 190 and bigger is 260. So I went 10 shy of that, and this is enormous and I'm not even halfway yet. So I was really hoping that by the end of this month that I would be onto my 2nd color, but I have, let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 84 to go. 84 more rows. I'm hoping this afternoon I will get a dint in this because I'm watching the Grand Prix, excuse me, the Formula 1. It's in Australia this week, it's in Melbourne today, so that'll be 2 hours hopefully of some knitting, and then with pre stuff a couple of hours. So yeah, but I'll show you how big this is. So I've got these on, I think I bought 120 centimeter cables. These are ChiaoGoo 3.25 millimeter needles. So I cast on this edge, whoop, as per the pattern, and then basically you wrap and turn and grow your triangle. So don't want to lose any stitches, but I did this kind of before. So oh, here's my marker of, anyway, this is I can't even get it in frame properly, but this is where I was last time we spoke. And I have knit a lot, and I have exclusively knit on this project. So I guess if I was to kind of show it correctly, I'd knit like to here. So I've knit this much of this next triangle in 3 weeks. That's pretty good effort. I think I'm pretty, yeah, because last time I was just after my friend had visited and we had, I joined this and I think I was like about here. So I've done that much, but it's up and back. And I've just like knit in really big chunks of time, not in smallish chunks, I guess, or bursts. I'm enjoying it a little bit more now that the rows are shorter. I feel like it's finally going quicker. And to be honest, I've been tempted to bind off and just do half the triangle and just have this half of the wrap because it's been 3 months, 3 and a bit months of knitting on this. So I don't have a lot of time for knitting and I've got so many other things that I want to make. So next year when I have some grand idea about some enormous garter stitch project that has a deadline, I mean, I gave myself a 12-month deadline. I'd like to have it done by the end of June, but that's only 12 weeks away, 3 months away. And if it took me, well, it took me 3.5 months to knit this much. So yeah, if I could get this bit done in the next week, that'd be good. And then I could start knitting. And then hopefully if this is all I knit on by the end of next school term, I might be finished. Dwi mi je. then I can cast on all of the other things that I really, really want to be knitting instead. So I'd honest to God don't know how people have knit multiple versions of this. So what I've done recently is I've like been putting a stitch marker every 50 stitches or so I don't have to count. So this is 50 here, 50 there, so I cast on 250 stitches. And then also when I put these stitch markers in, I put a little stitch marker down here as well, so it ends up growing. So that one I replaced at when I put this one, this most recent one in, I also popped that in too. So like you can see how it's grown between the bits. I'm really not explaining this very well, but anyway, it's helping to motivate me, that's for sure. So yeah, I thought to myself, oh, I'll probably be able to do it in just 2 skeins, but no way. It'll be like probably 2.4 skeins, I think. These are just over 100, so yeah, there's 2. So this, it will be like 600 grams of stockinette knitting. Like, I'm really enjoying, I know that I will enjoy it when it's finished. It'll probably end up being a lap blanket because it's not really cold enough where I live for a wrap, but also would be good if I could finish it by June, so I do have a wrap that I can just keep in my car for if it gets chilly, you know, in the like 3 weeks of winter that we have here. So yeah, that's what I do have a new work in progress, which I know I just said like basically kill me if I start something that's garter, but this is a little bit of a different story. I finally cast on the Jelly Roll blanket, which is a pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, and if you can see here, you just knit strips. I think she did 12 strips of varying colors, and then you knit them together, and it's just like a stash buster, because this is year I really want to stash down. So using some Knit Pro Zing's 3.75mm needles. I had a whole heap of DK weight stash yarn, that like leftovers or scraps, but I was like, well, all of my other scrappy projects are fingering weight, so I'll do DK, and I could hold all my fingering weight scraps double. So I cast on this bottom color here, was Natural Fiber Arts, and this was all the knitting I did last Sunday, so now that I tell you that I'm about to frog it, it makes me a little bit sad. But this was Natural Fiber Arts, and I can't remember the colorway, but I have put it in Ravelry already. This is Stitchcraft and Wizardry. So these 2 were DK already, which I think is why I started with the green, because it was the DK, but I just feel that this green is too bright for all of the other colors that I'm going to have going. So in the greeny blue section that I have, I've got those 2, then this mint here, which is by We Love Knitting, She's No Longer Dying, and then I have, this was actually mint, sorry, so that's like a light green, pale green, then this is a mint, and then I actually had started this one in there, which is a leftover Hue Loco. I was holding it double, but after this, and I just went, nah, that's too, oh no, after here, and I just thought it's not right. And then finally there's this one here, which is Wool and Boon, and I got this in a fibre share swap years and years ago, and I knit a beanie out of it for the first half of the skein. So basically a couple of things with this which make me not happy. All of this is being held in my little bucket tote, which is from Mrs. Brown's Bags. All of my other scraps are about 20 grams. So if I held them double, it'll be 10. So these strips will be really long, and also I feel like these colors are a bit bright. So I guess if I frog it, it was like a nice practice, because all of the other colors that I have are like pale pink. This was something confetti, I think. We Love Knitting as well. Then there's leftover Sweet Georgia yarn from my exploration station. This was beautiful Pickle and Co. I made my mum a hat out of this. I don't think she knows what my hats anymore, so I need to steal it back if I haven't already, because I love it. And then there's this, which was left over from my socks I made a couple of years ago. This is Sailor's Delight from my Penguono, and that is the same color as the Musselburgh hat that I'm knitting, but on DK. And then this is from a pair of socks, which, you know what, I made a shorty sock, which is why there's so much, but maybe I'll just knit another pair of shorty socks with that left over. And then this was from my Penguono too. I loved this color. It was my favorite color ever. And then, you know, a mini. I've got this purple from one of my Hoagie. This is Leftover Exploration Station. Woo. And then like leftovers from my Sizzle Pop. So I was like, maybe I could stripe those or just hold it double, and it is however much it is, but they're really cute together. So I'm really conflicted because I want to use DK weight leftovers, but those other greens are a little bit aggressive. I also have these minis, which I got from Finch Yarns. I can't remember if I bought these or I may have been gifted them. And then there's this leftover from my Sizzle Pop hat. And then I've got these minis from 3 Cats Yarn. And then the other thing that I've got is my minis from my advent swap last year. And as you'll see, like, I do have really nice, between all of us, like some nice greens and blues, so I could have a really lovely like progression of colors. I actually did pull some out because they were like self-striping, and I was like, I don't want to put those in this blanket. Oh, actually, maybe, or I don't know. I don't know what I did with them, but anyway, because I thought I'd left that out. But so, oh, then there's more. I have this whole bag here, which is more like moodier, like less cottage, more moody colors. So I showed you that before. Oh no, I don't know what that other pink was left over from. This is left over from my Sizzle Pop. And then this was from my Mirinda wrap. This is a Circus Tonic, I think, colorway. This is beautiful. That was originally going to be a Sizzle Pop hat. And then that didn't happen. And then this was my favorite ever, Ching Fiber. And then some more like purples, which are like Penguono leftovers. Because my original thought was that I will do a color strip, like a theme, like purples. But then that's a really dark purple, and I didn't like that really dark, bright green. So I don't know if I won't like this because it's dark, or if I won't like it because it's too dark. But then maybe I could marl it because it's DK weight and these are 4-ply. So and then, you know, there's a blue here, which was from my Penguono. This is goldy color, like yellowy gray gold, Circus Tonic again with Stellina. So like, yeah, I want to make the jelly roll. It'll just be probably like my Scrappy Sunday project. If I just put in 20 grams, like it only take me a little bit to do one of those strips. That will be fun, and I could have it done in a year, basically. I think it was 65 strips. Just ignore my environmentally unconscious shopping bag. Like, you know what? If you've bought stuff from this place, may as well reuse the stuff. So yeah, I really want to stash down. And I thought, you know, not that I need another blanket. My other blanket, that my big knitted one that I made over Christmas, is not even washed or blocked. Yeah, so there's that. In terms of future makes, like I said, I wanted to stash down. So I had these yarns. Isabeau, my love, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? I had planned to make the What's the Fade shawl with this. Well, there's been many plans for this yarn over the years. And so I don't know. But what I have found recently is, I will link her Instagram on here. I can't remember her first name, but it's like Woolly Mama, I think. She's a Melbourne knitter, and she has, or crocheter, has been making these crochet scrappy baskets. And people are like, oh, use your scraps and it'll be really pretty. And it's like you need super bulky yarn or something. So it's like probably 6 or 7 skeins of fingering weight yarn to make each of these baskets. So what I actually had thought to myself was maybe, so these 3 here were Knit Picks Hawthorn. I really want to use them for something. It's not something that I want to destash. I want to use them. They're Knit Picks Hawthorn, so they were fairly inexpensive, like probably $15 a skein, which is still not whatever. I got these 2 Mad Tosh in a destash. So, but then I'm just thinking that's like, this would be like $100 basket. And is that a waste? So can you leave me a comment below? Do you think that it's a waste? I also realized that it's a waste to just have it sitting here in my yarn cupboard, not doing anything. So I don't know. I do have other bucket basket things like that, which I haven't used. So, oh no, I've shattered a nail already. Yeah, which I haven't used yet. So I don't know if it's worth making that, but I don't want to knit that shawl anymore. I have no use for it. And I want to use things like, I want to make things that are like, the colors are great, would go great with my wardrobe. But I want to make a couple of garments. The other thing I did think of is I saw I just added it to my Ravelry favorites recently. So if Ravelry doesn't work for you, might be worth looking away for a bit. I'll find it on my iPad. I recently added it to favorites. I found this lady's podcast online. I think her name's Devin Isabeau. My favorites. She's a podcaster, knitwear designer. So I have this bundle called Cardigan / Jumper. Oh my gosh. And it has 53 items in there. Some of them will be the same because it's like color patterns. My cats are about to destroy something. Maybe not. Yeah, so it's called Fawcett. It's a DK weight, but I could hold those double. This is her original. So it's a little bit like the, what did I make that doesn't fit? Soldotner. Which, to be fair, I could probably make the Soldotner again with those colors too. Holding them double because it wants DK weight yarn. The other thing I just saw on here that I queued ages ago was a So Faded, which uses fingering 4-ply yarn. And that's an Andrea Mowry pattern. So I mean, I have the yarn I could make. I haven't looked at the actual pattern and I don't own the pattern. So I'm trying to knit with patterns that I do have already, but nothing's really calling out to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much ease is this supposed to have? Classic version full length sleeves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 grams, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. Yeah, so she's got 5 colors going. So I could knit that jumper actually, because that would be fun. Fairly easy, I imagine. Isabeau, stop it. This is going to be a disaster. Can you see the kitties? There's this whole, I'm going to tell you about it shortly. Anyway, I'm using online on mic. I shouldn't. I've got yarn coming for a love note. I bought some off Chloe of Woolen Works. It's my first time buying from Chloe. So that's exciting. I could remake the soldotna holding that, yeah, some of those yarns double. So for some color work, that could also be fun. Or I just like look at another strap sweater. The other sweater I found recently that looks fun, I guess we're now into things I might want to make. It's called the Tulip. It's by Melody Hoffman. And I saw this recently and I really liked it. So I think that wouldn't want a DK weight yarn though. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. So there's some possible future makes. The other thing I've got sorted is I printed out the pressed flower shawl pattern, which I was like, yep, gonna cast on next. I've got my yarns ready here, which is these 4. But after doing this one, I think I'm gonna be ready for a garment. I've also got yarn here for a Darren cardigan or another cardigan. I don't know if I showed this last episode, I can't remember, which is from 3 Cats Yarn. It's vintage tea set. I really want a cardigan this winter. And then I've also been playing around with some of my Rhinebeck yarn. So yes. Okay, let's end that section here and talk about just random bits and bobs, and then we'll go into blather. All right, random bits and bobs. I am doing a clear out of stash. I usually destash on the Ravelry We Are Knitters Australia page, but I've seen a few people recently do destashes on their Instagram account, so I'm wondering if I should do the same, because I haven't had traction on that yarn on the We Are Knitters account. I've got this is new stuff I'm really realizing I'm going to part with, just because it's not cold where I live anymore. So probably this Shetland, if I can. This is Aran Weight We Are Knitters. No. Knitcraft and Knittery, and they don't dye anymore, so it's limited edition. I've got 2 more of these as well. It's Aran Weight. I wanted to make a big sweater, but I don't live anywhere cold anymore, so it's not worth it. I've got this, which is really lovely, but I don't know what I'd make with it. Merino Silk DK 200 meters. It's from We Love Knitting, and they don't dye anymore. I also bought this Scout from Skein Sisters. Like, it cost me $29.50 years ago. I wanted to make something color work, like some mittens, I think. So I may not destash this, because I actually wouldn't mind making some color work slippers for me for inside my house, because I have tiles. So that might not get destashed, but those will. And I've got a whole box of other stuff up there that is on my current like will trade or sell page, but I haven't had any recent traction. So I was wondering, maybe if I put it all on Instagram, maybe people will get it out of my life that way. I'm looking at this and it's insurmountable really at this point. Like, my Rhinebeck purchases, which obviously I'm super in love with, that will be gone by the end of the year, because that is the rest of my whatever half and half thing that I'm doing. Whatever. Just other yarns that I bought more recently. That's DK weight. There's 5 skeins of DK weight LBA that I bought to make a I bought it to make a Vertices Unite baby blanket, but I love the babies in my life, but I'm not knitting a blanket out of like $300 worth of yarn for a child. So no, that won't be happening. Yeah, so I also was looking, maybe I could do the stripes pullover, or I keep seeing like patterns that require yarn, DK weight yarn for color work. Or I was thinking I could do another soldotna with that. I just, for my size, I think I needed 2 of a certain color, so I could do some magic with that, I guess. So yeah, could you leave me a comment below if you think that I should give the Instagram destash a go? just like it won't be a whole lot of items, but it's just a few that they're just sitting around here and I don't love that. So yeah, the other thing I guess I have to talk about is, I was going to talk about my sock shop, but I got some new yarn delivered from a customer. So she's wound them up for me already, which is great. That's what I asked for because I rewind them onto a cone, and my shoulder hurts too much. So that's good. I will get that done this week. And then I do actually have notes. I wonder, oh, the knit along. Okay, half and half wrap news. We have 127 people as of yesterday signed up for the half and half wrap, which is cool. I'm one of them. I've had a couple of people who have tagged me on Instagram that they finished their wrap, which is amazing. I love that for them. I'm jealous that that is not me, but you know, with some concentrated knitting time, we'll definitely get there. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, this is so much chaos. I really should lock them out. Hey girl. Hello. Say hello. Hey, this is Isabeau. Yes, so it's good. It's good fun. Lots of people are enjoying it and saying it's good motivation for them to have knit it because it's so big. Honestly, I don't know how people have done more than one. Like, I never wish to see this pattern again. Like, it's great. It's meditative. I really don't have to think. I'm getting quicker. I'm continental knitting, which is cool. But holy Jesus, like, it is big, and I will never make another one. And it's one of those, I am usually a never say never person, but there is no way on earth that I plan to make another one of these ever again. Okay, so we're on to blather properly. It is school holidays. Yay, I survived my first term teaching at my new school, which is great. I'm super happy about it. I'm going to take this week to kind of just relax a little bit. Next week I'll do planning and stuff for school, and I got to finish the book that I'm teaching in English for my year 9s for English. So hey Papa Girl, hello, hey. So yeah, I need to do some school stuff, but this week I'm giving myself off. I'm getting back into a gym routine. I've got a couple of appointments, like my pest control for my house is happening. I have just started rearranging my study, like this room here, because I don't really use it as a study anymore, and to be fair, I don't really craft in here either. It's just like the storage room for my uni shit and my craft stuff. And I'm thinking that at some point in the next year, I will probably downsize to a 3-bedroom place. So this will become craft room / spare room, depending on where I would move. So I used to have a riser stand thing that's tabletop that went on top of my desk. I've just pulled that out. I might give it to my sister or just try and sell it on Marketplace. I've got a whole heap of shipping boxes, which you could see before right next to me, that were just like accumulating space in the top of my wardrobe. And I'm like, nah, get rid of it. I really need to like critically assess all of the other random boxes of books and stuff that I have, and just stationery and equipment and stuff from uni, and just really seriously have a cull. And I bought some racking for my garage so I can get my like lawn mowing stuff off. It's just kind of like down the side of my car, kind of piling up, and it's really annoying. So my plan is to, I bought some racking recently, like last weekend, so I'll put that together and then I'll put all of that stuff on there, so at least it's like vertically stored, not, yeah, you know, like just sprawling like it is. And then my housemate can have a couple of shelves too, because she's got some stuff coming up with her. So lots of things planned, but also nothing planned really, like just catching up on admin this first week, but also chilling a bit. Like I want to do like an hour of knitting a day, if not a little bit more. Getting in for like, yeah, exercising and just like getting back into a good routine, because I haven't been for this whole term, and it's really been a bit detrimental to my health and my mental health as well. So yeah, I did write down a reading and watching. The listening, I really struggled to come up with anything, but been reading. It's called The Names of the Women, I think. Oh, now that I say that. Oh no, you're fine. let me find my Goodreads account. I'm also reading a book for a fellow history teacher, and I actually really need to get a wriggle on reading that, and provide feedback for her. So that's really cool. So I started that like 2 weekends ago maybe. So yeah, I really need to keep reading onto that one, so I can give her feedback and whatever, but it's really interesting. It's given me some topics to think about, and I'm also have been given, like, I'm in charge of a unit, so I need to revamp it. Like, it's one that we just taught for history, but I need to revamp it, and my co-teacher for history is not a history teacher at all, and she's been given this new unit, so I said we'd just work together next term. Oh, it's called Names of the Women. It's by Jeet Thayali, or Tali. Oh, no, Thayil. Don't know. But it is a novel about, begins with Christ on the cross addressing Mary of Magdala, asking her to bear witness to his death, and then as it unfolds, it tells the stories of 15 women whose lives overlapped with the life of Christ. So Lydia and Asiya, Martha and Mary of Bethany, Jania, the widow of Jerusalem, and a whole lot of other people. So basically I teach a religion at a religious school, and I'm interested on, how we, I basically want to stop the kids, particularly the boys, being young misogynists, and we can do that, like, just if I understand more about what I'm trying to teach them because of the school environment that I work in. I feel like that's hopeful, and this is just like a reinterpretation of the gospel stories, which I'm really, as a historian or a teacher of history, interested in the erasure of women from history. And so because of that, I'm like, well, this book's super interesting in terms of like reframing or just writing out what possibly could have happened for the women that wasn't talked about or written about because of the status of women in first century Palestine when the books of the Bible were being written by whoever they were written by. So anyway, super interesting. I did say to my kids in class, Jesus was an OG feminist. And then some of the boys told me that, oh, we think feminine products should be free. And I was like, okay, where'd you get that from? They're like, oh, well, you're a feminist, so we think they should be free. And I was like, that's not going to help you get a better grade, mate. But we had an interesting discussion, and I was like, I don't know that they need to be free. I was just like, but let's not tax them, as a luxury item. They're, a requirement. And then we had a pretty interesting discussion. So yeah, anyway, life is interesting. 15-year-olds are interesting, or like between 13 and 15 as my classes are. So yeah, that's kind of it for now. This has ended up being probably quite a big episode. But I did quite a bit of knitting, for me anyway, for the month of March. And I hope to be less boring once this half and half wrap is done. I might even just like say to myself, I get this purple bit done, start on the pink, and then give myself a break and work on something else, because I kind of just need to, I want something to wear. I really want to make a garment, but then again, it's going to probably take me the same amount of time to make a fingering weight garment as it would, as it is this, because it'll be the same amount of yarn. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me today as I rambled and whatnot about what's going on here in my little corner of the internet and where I live. We're hoping to have a Brizzy meetup at the end of April. I'm not organising it, I just heard about it. So hopefully that happens. Be nice to hang out with some knitters. Yeah, I hope the sound quality's been good, because this has been like an hour. If it's not bad, I have to record it. Anyway, goodbye. Thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you at the end of next month.